Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So this video is for people who aren't familiar with the PS4 controller, specifically for the Sims 4 game, because I play other games as well on PlayStation, and each button just requires a different movement for different games. So this one is specifically for people that play the Sims 4. You could go ahead and take a screenshot or take a picture of this page that you're of the screen that you're seeing right now, so that you have an idea of what I'm talking about when we get there. All right, so let's jump right into it. All right, guys, so I'm going to use my thumb and show you where your PS button is. It's a small black button with white letters on it that says P and S. It's between the left roller ball and the right roller ball. And when you press it one time, all it does is takes you to your main menu where all your games are, your settings, etc. And it's also how you exit your game as well. Now here's where we're going to learn to select, delete, and copy. So say for example you want to select something, you would use your arrow, scroll over it, and press X. Once you press X, you select your item and you can move it anywhere you want on your property, whatever it is, plants, anything you want, furniture, and you can move it anywhere. If you want to delete it, you would press triangle and then it would say your object is sold. If you wanted to copy, say for example, maybe the stove, maybe that picture over there, maybe the rug, maybe the dining room table. Say for example you wanted to change the color of it, you would scroll over it, then you would press the square and you would get a different color option for each. So you go over it, you press square, and then you would get different color option. And to select again, all you have to do is just press X. So that's the only thing that you have to do for that one. All right, so now we're going to talk about the roller balls. On your PlayStation control, there's only two buttons on there that actually move physically. So the one on the left, you could use it to move your arrow up, down, left, right, wherever you want. And the one on the right, you can use it to rotate your screen right, you can use it to rotate your screen left, whatever you want to do. You could also use it to zoom out, which you would press it slightly downwards, and to zoom in, you would press it slightly upwards. The two roller balls, you could use them at the same time to rotate left and right, up and down, zoom in and out as you please. All right, so now we're going to move on to your touchpad. It's known by a lot of names. The touchpad is the square, well, rectangular pad that lights up on your PlayStation console. So whenever you press it, you notice that your arrow goes by anywhere on the screen pretty fast. Usually if I have any technical issues and I press the toggle menu or the toggle button or the touchpad or whatever else everybody calls it, it usually helps you with those technical issues with like freezes and glitches and stuff like that, especially when you're building mansions. You could release it by pressing O, so your cursor doesn't move as fast anymore, and it's super helpful. And speaking of O, you could use O to go back from one screen to the next or release a screen. It's super helpful. The arrows on your PlayStation control, the top arrow goes all the way up. You can use it to scroll all the way up. The bottom arrow, you can use it to scroll all the way down to the last floor in your build. The left arrow, you can use it to remove the walls. So it doesn't physically remove the walls, because if we scroll and we go inside the build, we can see that the wall is still there. But if we exit the build, then we kind of see, okay, the wall's kind of missing. No, it's just used in case, like sometimes when you're building, you can't see what you're doing. So as we can see, all the walls are there, but it does look like one's missing. So it's just for building purposes. Then the right arrow changes your perspective. So you can see the top of your houses, you can see the insides of your houses, or the inside of on your property, if that makes sense. So basically it changes perspective so you can see above your house or in front of your house. And that's super helpful as well. So now we can move on to L1 and R1. So L1, L2, R1, R2 is found at the very top of your controller. So if you turn your control towards your face where you see Sony and the bright light that's there and your plug to charge your controller, you should see L1, L2, R1, R2. The L stand for left, the R stand for right, I assume, because they're on the left and the other ones are on the right. So between those buttons, L1 and R1, you could scroll at the very tip top of your screen, where you could go back and forth between your hammer tool, your copy tool, your bulldoze lot. You could also bulldoze the terrain using L1 or R1, and you could also change the time of day. So if you wanted to, you could use L1 to do it, or you could use R1 to do it, and you just scroll back and forth between all the settings at the tip top of your screen. So again, you can use L1 or you can use R1 to scroll back and forth to change any one of those settings or use any one of those settings. All right, so now we can move on to L2 and R2. So what L2 pretty much does, it undoes anything you deleted or changed. So it brings it back to the original form or the original condition or to the last change that you made. So R2, on the other hand, it redoes anything you deleted or you changed. So it turns it into what you changed it to previously. So take, for example, we're looking at what's happening right now on the screen. L1 is what I'm pressing because it erases everything that I did before. In order to get everything back, I press R2. So R2 renews. It returns everything that you lost. L1 deletes. It takes everything away. All right, so the share button, all you have to do if you want to take a screenshot even in-game is just press the share button one time. Quick press. If you want to screen record, you quick press it 2 times. If you want to stop recording, then you quick press it 2 more times. You just give it a few seconds. All right, last and least is the options button. Use this button to take you to your main menu to save your game. This is pretty much where you find save your game, game options, your lessons with Emily, managing your world, or exiting to the main menu. In order to go back and forth out of the screen, you just press O, because O always takes you back or releases the screen that you're currently in. So if you find this helpful, guys, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I'd appreciate it.